in New York one week and Wichita, Kansas the next week. But this year we chose to produce the event remotely using live view from our building in Indianapolis. So without the amount of travel, we've been able to do a little bit more on the production side to really amp up the event.
Sword for the win. He got it! A stunner!
I'm John Cervisi. I'm the Chief Technology Officer at Tupelo Honey. Prior to the start of the pandemic, we were developing some REMI control rooms in our Indianapolis headquarters, and obviously the pandemic accelerated that process. LiveView around the same time was ready to release the LU800 series, the most advanced transmission system that they've released to this point, allowing us really to bring 4 signals on each remote unit back to Indianapolis in full HD and with very minimal latency, which is obviously extremely important when you're producing sports.
Tonight, our game is taking place in Peoria, Illinois, about 200 miles away, 3 hours from Indianapolis.
On site at Peoria, we have 8 cameras, 2 LU800s, in addition to one of our remote production vehicles. All of those CCU-based cameras are connected to the LU800s on site. They're brought back to Indianapolis with under a second of latency to be integrated into the production here in our Indianapolis control rooms. The way the bracket works in the tournament, we have 2 sites going on simultaneously.
By producing the event remotely using LiveView, all of that video is coming back through our facility. And so I can take video from another game going on at a different site and I can show that to my audience.
Let's take you to what happened just moments ago at the West Virginia Regional, a down-to-the-wire finish. Taken away, Phillip to Jones for the win! It's over!
The ability for our crews to take feeds from the other game to produce look-ins and to deliver a kind of holistic look at what's happening within TBT, it's just a great way to deliver the product that TBT wants to see on air to viewers.
Jamil, come set it, roll, pop back.
One of the real priorities for TBT is access. We've got coaches mic'd, we've got referees mic'd, we're up close and personal with the players, and so there's a lot of audio happening, and having 16 channels of embedded audio on every LU800 is a massive part of this show. REMI production isn't new, and certainly the pandemic has accelerated a lot of things that were already in place. The difference with LiveView than what was a traditional REMI is traditional REMI is done via satellite or fiber. LiveView offers a redundancy that frankly satellite and even fiber don't. If the network on site goes down, we have cellular as a backup. And knowing that the future is not in the ground, the future's in the air. The growth is going to be in bandwidth. And so we wanted to be in a place where we were forward-looking and where we were thinking about what's next for the industry, not just what the industry has traditionally been.
Push.
Our full-time staff in a REMI model was a match made in heaven. For a producer or a director traveling in the traditional way you would do production, only allowed them to work a maximum of a couple of games a week. In a REMI environment, they could work 3, maybe 4 games a week without traveling and have more time to dedicate toward prepping for the games that they're producing, toward building storylines and thinking about the product that they're going to put on the air. So there's a huge benefit from a cost standpoint, no doubt about it, but the reality is we feel like we're producing better shows even though we're not on site.
The amount of video content being generated today is huge. So how can your production expect to keep up with manual metadata workflows? As we continue to develop innovations in live production and move with the industry into the cloud, we're introducing LiveView Ingest, an automatic recording and story metadata tagging solution for live video. Powered by the LiveView Cloud Video Platform, the hub for all things live. Unlike conventional workflows, LiveView ingest allows the field crews to associate the story metadata created in the NRCS system to the recorded live video when transmission starts. Field crews then choose a story name from a drop-down list on the LiveView video contribution system. Live transmissions are recorded automatically, with story metadata associated in advance. Quick and simple. Trimming in the cloud in advance from anywhere means only relevant footage is transferred to the MAM. Free your crew from manual processes to generate creative content that boosts viewership. Book a demo for LiveView ingest and start processing more video content in less time.
The Molokai Hoi is the world's oldest six-man outrigger canoe race, 67 years. It's the World Championships. This is where crews from all over the world come to find out how good they are. It's 41 miles from the island of Molokai across the Kaiwi Channel to the island of Oahu. About 10 years ago, the president of the organization came to us and they said they would really like us to try and do this live. This was in a time where 4G didn't exist. About 3 years after that, the technology became better. We're partners with Time Warner Cable, and that was when we did the first real live TV broadcast from the channel. This year, we're partnering up with LiveView Technologies to see what their equipment can do in the channel. You know, adaptive bitrate, 4G technologies, bonding up to 12 modems into one feed. It's just, we're in the middle of the ocean, we're in the middle of nowhere, and we're pulling signals where other people cannot even use their cell phone. This race is broadcast live in Hawaii. It is rebroadcast live in Tahiti. It's a worldwide webcast. It's a social media cast. The viewership for this race is tremendous.
Our role with Ocean Paddler is to manage all of those bonded cell connections from the start line to the finish line, all the way through the race.
The big challenge with this particular show is that the boats themselves, there's a lot of waves out there, there's a lot of motion and movement. We wanted to make it as seamless as possible for them. So we control everything in the control room.
I, on the field, don't have to worry about too much. I can just plug it in, turn it on. I don't have to try to figure out and troubleshoot problems. Like, they're able to work on it while I'm concentrating on getting the shot down here.
So this is one of the great things about LU Central, LiveView's control platform, is that we can talk to all those remote units from a single control location, which means that we don't have to have a lot of tech personnel out in the field. LiveView's reliable transport technology, the LRT, has been a game changer. Regardless of how data conditions fluctuate, you know that the reliability of your signal is always going to be top-notch. And the support that we receive 24/7 from LiveView is absolutely stellar. That's been something that's been a lifesaver for us.
You've had many people out there in the community that have often wondered what actually happens during a channel. The next thing to experiencing it is seeing it live, and because of TV, through social media, you can actually feel it and get a sense of the challenge that exists, and it's just broadens the involvement in the sport far beyond just the paddler.
Now we get to bring more people in, more people can appreciate it, more people can see paddlers from all over the world, their families too, get to be a part of this as well. And so that inclusion, I think, is a beautiful thing.
Having LiveView on our side this year is tremendous, and we're driving the Ferrari of the industry.